Hi, I'm Stephen, and I've spent the last several years of my life trying to come up with innovative ways of teaching computer science. I built this video game called Code Spells, where you play the part of a wizard and you craft your own magic spells by writing code. I also founded a company called ThoughtSTEM, whose mission is to bring computer science education to every child in America. Now, those are stories for a different time, but they are related to the story for today, which is the story of Minecraft. It's the story of where Minecraft came from and what I think it can do for us in the future. And it's a story for why you should care. And just to spoil the end a little bit, you should care if your child plays Minecraft. Or if you play Minecraft. Actually, raise your hands if either you or your child has ever played Minecraft. Right? Okay. Alright, that's what I thought. A lot of you. All of you, put your hands up. You should care. But not just you. You should also care if you've ever used a computer. Because this isn't just the story of Minecraft. It's a story of all of us. It's a story of humanity and how we came to be the way we are today. So let's start the story of Minecraft at what I think we can all agree is the obvious place. The death of Hitler. World War II. World War II really sparked the information age. We see the first modern electronic computers being built right after the war, and very much as a result of technology invented during the war. But not only that, the war itself was a war of information. This was the German Enigma machine, about the size of a typewriter, and it was used to encrypt German military communications. And this was a secret weapon that the British called the bomb. And it was used to decrypt anything that the Enigma machine encrypted. The Germans didn't know about this machine, and in fact, they believed that it was impossible for such a machine to exist. This is both machines, the bomb in the background, two of the most crucial weapons during the war, and yet neither of them ever destroyed, vaporized, pierced, punctured, disintegrated anything. They were weapons of information. And because of them, the war itself was this amazing informational fencing match between the Allied and Axis powers. Now, in spite of the fact that the Germans believed the bomb couldn't exist, they did start to get suspicious in 1942. They began to wonder how we always knew what they were up to, and so they made some modifications to the Enigma machine, and it rendered the bomb useless for a short period of time. And by short, I mean about a year. By the end of 1942, British codebreakers and mathematicians had made the appropriate modifications to the bomb, thus re-establishing decryption. But 1942 was not a good year. This is a chart of Allied ships lost during the duration of the war, every month. And as we can see in 1942, immediately after we lose the ability to decrypt Enigma, casualties skyrocket. And immediately after reestablishing decryption, we see a quick drop in casualties. This data allows us to do a thought experiment. And that thought experiment is to ask, what if the bomb never existed? What if we couldn't crack Enigma throughout the whole war? In 1942, the Allies are losing about 100 ships every month. For a year. That's about an average of one ship every 8 hours. Every 8 hours for a year. Millions of tons of cargo lost, thousands of lives, supply chains broken. It only happened for a year. But we can imagine that the war itself may have had a very different outcome if such casualties had been spread across the entire duration of the war. After the war, Winston Churchill told King George it was because of decryption that we won. And I agree. We won the war of information, and so we won the war. Now, there are a lot of heroes in that story, but the one I want to mention, because he invented the bomb machine, is Alan Turing, also known as the father of computer science. And we'll come back to him. But first, what does any of this have to do with Minecraft? Minecraft is a 3D game released in 2009. But 3D games don't come out of nowhere. Like any piece of software, it has a history. And like many pieces of software, that history is one of blood and sweat and tears and lines of code written by a man named Notch over the period of several years. But actually, Minecraft's history goes back before its first line of code. It has a history going all the way back to World War II. Now, when I tell this to the average Minecraft player, they are skeptical. So if there are any skeptics in the room, let me prove it to you. Let me trace Minecraft back to World War II, and I'll do it 3 ways, and I'll do it in less than 2 minutes, just to show you how easy it is. 3 ways, 2 minutes. Minecraft is written in Java. Java is a programming language where the code you write gets fed into another program called a compiler. The first compiler was invented in 1951 by Grace Hopper, who had previously enlisted in the US Navy and was assigned to work on an American computer that did calculations for the Manhattan Project, the atomic bomb. And at the same time, the US Navy was also in construction of a different bomb machine, the American version of the British cryptographic bomb. In doing so, the Navy was in direct consultation with the world's leading expert on Enigma decryption, Alan Turing. So there is your World War II connection plus a bonus connection to Alan Turing. Minecraft is a multiplayer game, which means it runs on a network. Computer networking dates all the way back to the late 50s, where the SAGE network was designed to defend against Soviet missiles. SAGE was powered by some of the largest computers ever built, 4 stories high, using 60,000 vacuum tubes each. Vacuum tubes had just previously been used in the Colossus computer used during World War II to break German code. And for your bonus Alan Turing connection, the Colossus was designed by Tommy Flowers, who worked directly under Alan Turing on the British bomb. Minecraft is a 3D game. A game is a program that is stored in the computer's memory and which can be executed without manually rewiring the hardware. A revolutionary idea that was pioneered by von Neumann in 1945. Von Neumann did work on the Manhattan Project during World War II, and his ideas were fundamentally inspired by a seminal 1936 paper written by none other than Alan Turing. So what is up with this guy, Alan Turing? You take any piece of computing technology, like Minecraft, and you can trace its lineage back to him, somehow, in multiple different ways. That alone is enough to qualify somebody as a foundational figure in world history. And not only that, but the guy also helped us win World War II with his code-breaking work. That's amazing. But what's also amazing, and even a little sad, is that I conducted a poll of 100 random strangers, and less than 5% of them even knew who Alan Turing was. World War II was a tipping point, and we tipped the right way, partly thanks to Alan Turing. Today, I think we're at another tipping point. And there's a dark future. Okay, it's not really that dark. It's not nearly as dark as the future we would be in if we had lost World War II. The dark future is really just that things stay the way they are. That there continue to be the same number of computer scientists in the world, and it continues to be the case that only 5% of the people I poll have ever heard of Alan Turing. kids continue to play Minecraft and they continue to have no idea how it actually works. Is it a bad world? No. No, it's actually not a bad world. Computer scientists do amazing things. They invent things like your iPhone and Windows 8 and that app where I can FaceTime with my doctor whenever I want. Or that guy who does computational simulations that invent new cancer drugs. Computer scientists are solving problems right and left. It's a fast-moving world. We're doing all of this, and less than 1% of us are computer scientists. So I invite you to imagine a future wherein the human population is 100 or 1,000 times as innovative as it is today, because everyone is a computer scientist. What I'm proposing is that the most dramatic leap forward in human achievement that we can hope to see in our lifetimes will come about by teaching everyone how to use the most powerful problem-solving tool ever created by man, the computer. Now, it's hard to imagine the innovations in that world. But it's not as hard to imagine what we have to do today in our present to see that world in our lifetimes. We have to teach everyone. And it's not easy. It's hard enough to get kids to stop playing video games long enough to do their normal homework, let alone learn computer science. But we do have one thing going for us, one lucky coincidence. Kind of like Alan Turing was the lucky coincidence of World War II. He just happened to be there and be on our side and invent an entire field just in time to help us win a world war. Today, I think our lucky coincidence is Minecraft. Minecraft is not your normal game. It's not your World of Warcraft or your League of Legends or your first-person shooter. It's a game that you can reprogram. You can mod it. And modding is cool. Reprogramming the game is cool. And millions of kids feel this way. And it is not easy to get millions of kids to agree that something is cool. Kids are walking through the door of my business wearing Minecraft t-shirts and saying, please, teach me how to program because I want to mod Minecraft. Because to them, computer science education is a magical power that gives them control over this fantasy world that they're spending so much time inside of. And as long as that fantasy world exists, we have a chance. Will Minecraft be cool next year? Or the year after that? I hope so. I think it might. But I also know, and I think those of you who raised your hands earlier and said your child plays Minecraft, you also know that your kids won't play it forever. It's probably a phase. Kids do grow out of things. So that's why my company uses Minecraft to teach computer science, because it's a chance that won't be around forever. And I hope everyone starts doing this. In closing, I'm going to say something that I think people may make fun of me for, but I will say it anyway. And that is that I hope Minecraft goes down in the history books as a key moment in computer science history. In fact, I hope that in 20 years, people look back and they realize two things. One, Alan Turing gave us computer science as we know it today. And two, Minecraft unlocked computer science for all of the people who didn't know about it today. I hope that in 20 years, all of the unimaginably awesome technological innovations that we've come up with can be attributed to some programmer who can trace their personal history back to a childhood of playing Minecraft. and learning computer science. So, I leave you now with words from the British government during World War II. Keep calm, and as they should have said, even at that time, code on.